With the national divide deepening over Hezbollah's weapons after the November ceasefire, Lebanon now stands at a pivotal crossroads. The army's long-awaited proposal to disarm Hezbollah has been formally presented and welcomed by the cabinet, marking a significant turn in the country's post-war trajectory. During a tense session on Friday, the Lebanese army laid out the plan, cautioning that the military lacks the full capacity to implement it and offering no specific timeline. The move comes amid mounting pressure from the US and regional powers to curb Hezbollah's influence following last year's war with Israel, which dramatically reshaped Lebanon's political landscape. Hezbollah, however, remains firmly opposed, insisting that any disarmament discussion must follow Israel's complete withdrawal from southern Lebanon and full adherence to the ceasefire. In protest, 5 ministers from Hezbollah and the allied Amal party walked out before the cabinet could begin formal discussions. Now that the disarmament plan is officially on the table, what lies ahead for Lebanon in its most critical test yet, and can it navigate this path without sliding deeper into crisis? I'm Hani Sif, and let's go in depth. The Lebanese government has endorsed the army's disarmament plan, with the parliament speaker Nabih Berri stating that the toxic winds are beginning to clear, and Prime Minister Nawaf Salem affirming continued efforts to disarm Hezbollah. According to Al-Sharq Al-Awsat, the army's plan is composed of 5 stages. The first phase, lasting about 3 months, focuses on disarming areas south of the Litani River and restricting arms movement nationwide. Lebanese Information Minister Paul Morkos stated at the end of the session that the cabinet had decided to keep the plan's details and deliberations confidential, while tasking the Army Command with submitting monthly report on its implementation. The newspaper added that President Joseph Aoun, who chaired the session, condemned Israeli attacks, welcomed the UNIFIL mandate renewal as a victory for Lebanon, and called for timely parliamentary elections. Meanwhile, Hezbollah official Mahmoud Qmati described the cabinet session as an opportunity to return to wisdom, urging caution to avoid national instability. Delving deeper into this, we're joined from Beirut by the retired Brigade Taqi-ud-Din al-Tanir, the military and strategic expert, and Mr. Fawzi Boudiab, the political analyst. Gentlemen, welcome to In Depth. Mr. Tanir, now given the Army's own admission of limited capacity and no clear timeline, how feasible is this disarmament plan in practical terms?
To you and to Qnews and the Al Qahira News and the crew, to your audience and your listeners and your guests. Yes, as you said, there is a lack of equipment, of a lack of individuals. They must to recruit new individuals in the army and equip them and supporting them, and a lot of things. You are right. There is a lot of difficulties and obstacles will face the implementation of this plan on the ground. At the beginning, as we know, it's not, as you say, it was confidential between them and the cabinet yesterday afternoon, and we cannot know till now what really happened. But as I know, it will not be like an initial plan or maybe suggestions or maybe some recommendations. I think the army will ask for some equipment, especially for detonated weapons, especially for clumpy weapons. As you remember, what happened in Tyre last time when some soldiers have died from explosion. So we need a technological instruments accurate for that mission. I guess they give, and without timeline, as you know, I guess they give us little bit, plenty of time in order for negotiation, individual and the national dialogue, and I think also international negotiation between the different parties.
Mm-hmm. Well, sir, what risks does the army face in deploying reinforcements near Hezbollah strongholds such as Beirut's southern suburbs, especially amid the reports of possible street protests? I mean, aren't we now playing with fire?
I think there will not be any clash between Lebanese armed forces and Hezbollah parties and elements. I guess it will be far from that side in order, according to the Lebanese national interest and priority. I think they will do it exactly from South Lebanon. First step, the first stage or step will be continuing the South Lebanon and then going back from north of Litani till the suburb of Beirut and going back to the provinces of Bekaa and North Lebanon. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you here something. You mentioned something very important, and it was a very great and good question. That who will give us during the Lebanese army implement this plan? Who will give us guarantee that there will be no violation or aggression or any kind of attack from Israeli army on Lebanon, South Lebanon, or all territories? Really, it's still a big obstacle till now. I guess it must be a written paper, a written document, let us say whatever, from the International Committee and United States Army for that issue. And there must be at least negotiation between America and Iran, really, for that point, because it will be the key point of all the issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, assuming the Israeli strikes do continue, and what sort of effect do you think this will have on the situation in southern Lebanon? How would it affect the army's ability or willingness to act on this plan, actually implement it?
Till now, they finished 80%, as you know, of their plan, and they still need the 20% of that land where there is occupation from Israeli enemy army troops. So they must, according to Lebanese armed forces, they will not work unless the Israeli will withdraw from all these points, the 5 or 6 points now, and they will, the land will be clear from any kind of unrestrained soldier on our Lebanese territory and land. Mm-hmm. I guess Lebanese army do all their best in South Lebanon, exactly South Litani River, to do their job in implementing and testing about weapons, about storehouses, and they do their best to finish their mission. But unfortunately, they face obstacles, the unwithdrawing of Israeli troops. They must continue, first of all, from South Lebanon, and as I said before, to all Lebanese territories and land.
Mr. Fawzi Boudiab, the political analyst, now take us on a more political depth. Now, what does the cabinet's endorsement of the army's disarmament plan signal about Lebanon's current political trajectory?
Let me here explain for you something. If you remember, the cabinet, the Lebanese cabinet, and the ministers, they didn't approve the initial plan of the army. They only welcomed it. And they asked the commander of the army to providing them every month, as you know, with a report about what the progress of that mission happened and what is happening. I think this time will be for negotiation, international negotiation for the supporting of the United States and the international community.
Yes, Mr. Tanir, this question will be going to Mr. Fawzi Boudiab. Mr. Boudiab, now, the cabinet approved the plan. How significant is Nabih Berri's statement that the toxic winds are beginning to clear? Is it a genuine signal of consensus?
Good evening. The Lebanese government insists on having full sovereignty, full Lebanese sovereignty. That is legitimate on all Lebanese lands, including the south, as in the 1701 statement, as was agreed before in 2024, last December, between Lebanon and Israel after the Israeli attacks on Lebanon. And so what happened yesterday and what they said yesterday with the Lebanese army plan that is divided into phases. So they will start they want to disarm all the non-legitimate groups and have the arms be only for with the government. And so this here the Lebanese government expressed its opinion in its meeting on the 5th and 7th August, and they also gave the Lebanese army directions to start planning and executing this project. And so this is also about what the president said when he took a chair, and so it is one of the statements that was already accepted and agreed. That Lebanon signed accordingly. And so Lebanon is insisting on this plan, and they are on the path to execute these statements and rules. And so and yes, the America's agreement was it was also altered by the Lebanese government. And so Lebanon wants to keep on with its plan and its projects. So if these projects align to other statements also from America, then it will work. From the they need Arab countries. They need also France to help them reconstruct, and they also have a plan that will start or will be in action after the Lebanese army takes over the whole land.
Yes, but what about, sir? But what about Hezbollah? How do you view the Hezbollah official Mahmoud Qmati's recent statement, in which he described the cabinet session as an opportunity to return to wisdom? The opposition by Hezbollah?
Yes, there is a chance, and Hezbollah has to take advantage of this opportunity. And up till now, we can say that the Lebanese government and yeah, that they are working together with steady steps to reach the disarmament that lessens the tension that Hezbollah is actually taking advantage of to keep the arms, because we know that the arms that we are talking about is an Iranian weapon that Hezbollah is using for Iranian benefits, and so giving up will cause some problems between Hezbollah and Iran.
Hmm.
And so yes, they will have, this will cause some kind of coup in Iran also. And so we see that the president is actually taking some stances that are hard, that are kind of hard to reach for, but he aligns them with the others that are interested. And this is what happened yesterday in the cabinet when the foreign minister left, but they still took their decision, and that they will keep the disarmament and followed it by a statement. And so there is a real opportunity for Lebanon, and they are facing two things. They can disarm Hezbollah and all the other groups that are armed, or will stay under the they will stay under Israel's control and America's control, especially in the south, and will keep on receiving strikes
Yes.
almost daily. And so, yeah, there is an opportunity because balancing the power between Hezbollah and Lebanon and Israel, this is very important to keep a balance. And it it is known to everyone now that Hezbollah's armament is causing some kind of problems. And
Yes, and keeping up finding that balance is essential. But Mr. Tanir, now, in your view, what are the operational challenges that the army could face in trying to enforce such a plan, especially without a clear timeline? They stated that they do lack the capacity. You're very sure that no clashes, no risk of clashes could erupt between the army and Hezbollah. What are the main obstacles and challenges then?
The matter of fact, I am sure about there will be no clashes between the Lebanese armed forces and Hezbollah soldiers, or what they have, elements. Because if it's happened, and God bless not, it will be the beginning again of the civil war in Lebanon, and it will be, unfortunately, it will have more problems and difficulties on all the situation of Lebanon. And I think nowadays, Lebanese army, as I told you before, they will start continuing the south of Lebanon, south of Litani River, and after the north, and till all the Lebanese territories.
Yes, but what would be the main challenges for the army?
The challenges will be lacking of, they must recruiting new individuals. They must recruiting new individuals. They need equipment for detonating weapons, for the bomb trapping weapons, and other things, in order not to have any bad events with them, as happened last time near Tyre in South Lebanon. Mm-hmm. And after that, as I told you, it must be at least a Lebanese dialogue, a national Lebanese dialogue, in order to have everything clear and to know well what the army will work, and they will not, as if they will not throw our army with a fireball. Mr. Nabih Bibi, the president of the Speaker of Parliament, Lebanese Parliament, said, We will not throw them with flowers, not with fireball. So I think there need a dialogue between all the parties in order to implement well our plan, the initial plan. I insist on the initial plan because the plan needs many elements to be completed. It's not ready yet. After
Yes.
that, as I told you, we need also international negotiation between the main parties responsible about that. Why? Because unfortunately, Lebanese territory and Lebanese land and all Lebanese country affected well by the influence regionally and internationally.
Mhm. Mr. Boudiab, now, as you've mentioned, the balance needs to be met between the army, the government, and Hezbollah. But with five ministers walking out of the cabinet meeting before they start their discussions, could this approved disarmament plan trigger a realignment within the Lebanese political scene, or do you see a more likely scenario for it to deepen existing sectarian and factional divides?
And yesterday, after the meeting being held and ending ending properly and uh, releasing the statement of what happened, this means that the meeting was actually completed successfully, and that there was a legitimate community. And yeah, it ended with some ministers leaving. Um, and so the gov- the government needs to be in charge of taking the actions, the long-term actions, but the challenges that can face the army are the ones that the army leader talked about yesterday, is that the army needs a lot of soldiers. They need to get new soldiers to be able to stay spread throughout the Southlands, especially that by next year the UNICEF role is over and they are leaving the south. And we also need army checkpoints, new checkpoints where they can keep arms and everything that they need, basically, like what was said in yesterday's meeting, like the minister said yesterday. But some of the info that we have received, they said that they have some technical challenges, but also in Lebanon, this is actually starting to get diplomatic to stall. And this used to happen from when we had regional challenges on Iran's side and with other countries. But today we don't have these things anymore in Lebanon. And yeah, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf countries, and also the Afghan community between Lebanon, USA, and France. And so some of these countries are starting to impose some kind of momentum for the Lebanese army to be spread across all the Lebanese land. And
Mhm.
so the army are mentioning some things that happened before. We've heard such similar things in Iran, and we have heard about them on social media, on the Lebanese media, and on the some of the leaders of Hezbollah. But today, it is being led by the president. It uh, shows the legitimacy, and so the president actually said that he agrees to the disarmament and having the arms be in the hands of the country only. But they are afraid of Israel's ongoing brutality. But
Yes.
this can't stay the situation forever.
Mhm.
It needs to change, and we need some regional power ever since the President Rahik died in 2005. Up till now, they haven't been able to kind of recover. And so yes, this regional game that's been going on, Lebanon. It is time for Lebanon to go back and to be able to impose its legitimate sovereignty on its land.
Definitely. Mr. Tanir, now, with your strategic experience, do you think Israel will ever respect the ceasefire agreement and withdraw completely from southern Lebanon if the disarmament process is actually progressing?
It's a very intelligent question. It's the key point of all that issue. It's the key point. Would America will work more on pressing the Israeli government and especially Benjamin Netanyahu in order to withdraw, or at least to be according to the theory, for every action there is an opposite and equal reaction, step by step. When we disarmament Hezbollah from one area, they will withdraw from one point like that. I think they will give confidence for the country, for the government, Lebanese government, and for the army to continue their work. But without any kind of guarantees, I think it will be very, very difficult, and nobody can do that. Mm-hmm. And it will come back to a very bad situation in Lebanon.
Mr. Boudiab, now that the Lebanese government is moving forward with the disarmament plan, what kind of pressure does the United States need to exert on the Israeli side to ensure a complete withdrawal from the 5 strategic points in southern Lebanon?
As of course, as the guest mentioned, he talked about an agreement that they want to follow, and so when the Lebanese government said that they want to go on with the plan and execute it, the Israeli government said and declared that it will withdraw from the 5 points in Lebanon when Hezbollah is disarmed. And so there is some kind of agreement from all parties, of following the plan and following the steps. And so we think that we have some American guarantees, or what the USA says that it is guarantees that it is offering is keeping on, doing the steps one after another, especially after the Lebanese army starts its first operation in the south. We will see that Israel is also asked to withdraw, and they will have to withdraw from the 5 points, and so they will also free the detainees. And so yes, these steps they will be one after the other, and so and we expect for this to happen by the end of this year, but maybe things will stay on till next spring to fulfill the whole plan and for Israel to withdraw from all the points. And Lebanon has to start with these steps, and we need the American pressure we need America to keep pressuring Israel as we saw them do, and we need them to ask them to withdraw from the middle. And so these steps are putting the foundation for how things are going to go from an army and a security point of view. Mm-hmm. And this will or we will have some challenges with the Lebanese army and Israel.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Fawzi Boudiab, the political analyst, and the retired brigadier, Mr. Taqiyuddin Al-Tanir, the military and strategic expert. Gentlemen, thank you very much for sharing your fruitful insights, and hopefully Lebanon does find the balance between the army, the government, and Hezbollah, and Israel does respect the ceasefire agreement. And by this, we come to the end of today's episode of In Depth. I'm Henny Saif. Thank you for joining us.